Okay, so in this video, I'm going to discuss how to use HTML frames in our web pages. Right? Okay, so let's see what is frame. Right? Actually, HTML frame enable user to divide our entire web page into different areas. Right? So we can divide our web page into different areas, or we can define separate areas, right? So each area can be used to display different content, all right? And then that content can be set to scroll independently from one another, right? And then there is a tag called frame set which can be used to divide the window into frames. Means if you want to divide our web page into different areas, so there is a tag called frame set, right? Frame set, right? So one particular area called frame, right? So however, this frame become now outdated tag, right? But the still we are used that, right? And then this is outdated because of the following reasons, right? Actually, frames are hard to code, and this is reasonably hard to manage, all right? And then at the same time, in some platforms, for example, mobile arena does not support for these frames, right? So and same time, the frames are not compliant with the paint with the XHTML standards, right? Okay, so therefore frames are outdated, but still we use this frame set uh, text, right? Okay, so if you want to divide your web page, so actually that web page can be divided in two ways, right? The one is that you can divide in horizontally, or you can divide vertically, right? So you can divide into vertical or horizontally, or simply we call row wise or column wise. In table we know rows and columns are there, right? So if you want to divide vertically, we can divide our web page in column wise, right? So let's see how can we divide our web page, right? So I use the root element HTML, and then so in frames, right? So if you want to use frames, they don't have header section and uh, that body section, right? So we have frame set tag, and then we have to specify the direction or the way that you want to divide your web page. It may be column wise or row wise. That means, so for example, if you want to divide your, so assume this is your web page, all right? So if you want to divide your web page something like this, so this is called column wise. This is called column wise. So if you want to divide row wise something like this, so this is called divide our web page row wise. All right. Okay, in this case, I'm going to divide my web page in column wise. So in here we can specify the what you call the size of the frame as a percentage of entire web page, right? As a percentage of entire web page. Assume entire web page is 100%. So with this 100%, so in here columns are divide. Say first one is 25. This is the first one, and then say second one is here I put asterisk, and then this is the third one. This is third one. Third one is also 25. So this is the first one. This is the third one. Right. So here I take 25%. Here I actually allocate 25%. So I allocate 25% for first column, and then I allocate another 25% for third column, and then here asterisk means the remaining portion. The remaining portion is 50%. So in here it take 50% automatically for second column, all right? And then I can load, or I can insert three different web pages or three different content for these three columns. So in here I have already created a.html and b.html and c.html web pages. Then I can set those web pages in these frames: a.html in here, b.html in here, c.html in here, something like this. So in order to insert the web pages for these frames, there is a tag called frame. So I said that. So this area called as a frame, right? So here frame, and then source of the frame is a.html, which has been already created, right? And then the second frame contains a b.html web page. At the same time, third frame or the third column contains the c.html web page. Then I can close the frame set, right? And then I can close the HTML web page, right? So same methods can be used to divide your web page in row-wise, right? In row-wise, right? In here, so this is the example for divide our web page in row-wise. And I use the HTML web page, and then here it's the frame set, and then here there are two frames. The first one is, say it's the first, this is the second one. Here 25% for first section, then remaining portion, that is 75% assigned for second portion. Here we have remaining portion, because in here I assigned 25%, and all, so in the entire height take as 100%. So in here I assign 25% for first row, then automatically they take 75% for the second row. All right, then I insert two web pages for two frames, and then close the frame set, close the HTML web page. Okay, then before going to the attributes of frames, so let's see how can we do this in HTML codes, right? Okay, then I exit from the web presentation, then I open the notepad application, notepad, and then should I save this one? Before that, actually I have already created this few web pages. So in 83.1 basics frames, right? So I have already created this economics.html, right? Right, so in here I have created that economics.html web page for economics department. So and then education.html web page for education department, and then finearts.html for fine arts department, and then the geography.html for geography department, right? So I use the common format. So for example, if I open this source code, right, one with notepad, and then here you can, you know, these concepts, right? So in here header section I have the title, right, Department of Education, and I set body color, right, and then here I put comment, and then header, right? So this is the education department web page. So this is level 1 heading, and then I align my paragraph in justify alignment, and then I insert paragraph. At the same time I have insert the image, right? So images are available in images folder, right, inside here, right? Okay, then actually I am going to use these web pages for my frames, right? Actually my frame set, I have set of frames, then I am going to insert these web pages in my frames, right? Okay, then I start coding this HTML, and then closing HTML tag, and then I save this one as file save as inside the 83.1 day 6 and inside frames, right? So I save this one as frame 1.html. Okay, then the tag is frame set. First one, I'm going to divide column wise, right? So assume 25% for the first column, and then say another 25% for second one, and then I allocate as what you call the remaining portion for the third one, right? In our example, actually in our presentation, I allocate the 25% for the third one, and then remaining portion allocate for the second one, right? So you can do any allocation, right? And then at the same time I insert the closing frame set, tag, and then I save this. Then I open that web page, say frame 1. So this is my web page. Okay, so this is my source code. Right now, what I want to insert these two web pages, say economics, education, and fine arts web pages in these frames. All right, right. Okay, then I insert this frame sources, frame source. Right. So my first web page is called say education.html, and then next one is say frame source. Right. Next one is economics.html. Actually, all the web pages are in same directory, so therefore I use that relative path method, right? Education and fine arts.html. Right. Save this, and then I refresh this. Right. Now you can see my frames, right? So actually this is the first column, this is the second column, third one. So now you can see 25% for first column, and then another 25% for the third one, and remaining portion, that is 50%, allocated for the second column. Right. So here three columns are there. Right. Okay, then I can use the same method for the dividing our web page in row wise. Okay, then I minimize this. Then I open new source code, and then now I'm going to divide my web page in rowwise. Right. I save this one as a frame2, frame2.html. All right. And again tag is frame set. Then this is rows division. So say first row, then I allocate 25% for first row, the remaining portion for the second row. Then I close the frame set, and here I have two frames, so that I'm going to insert two web pages. Frame set, say first one contains a education.html web page, and then say second frame contains a say fine arts.html. Okay, then I can open the frame 2.html web page to the desktop, and then day 6 frames. So inside here, frame 2. Okay, now you can see right here, this is divide in row wise. Here, this is divided in row wise, right? So those are so different frames are called in independently, right? So here, this frame can be scrolled. All right. So here, this column, right? This one and this one are treated as independent frames, right? So those frames are treated as independent frames, right? Okay, so let's see what are the attributes that we have in frame set uh, tag, right? So there's an attribute called name. We can specify name for particular frame, and then at the same time there's attribute for called no resize. That means in here we can even we set the percentages, we can resize this frame, right? So that means we can change this size, right? So even column wise or row wise we can change this size, right? So if you want to fix these sizes, there's attribute called resize. I specify that frame is not resizable, no resize. Right, so if you say no resize, frame cannot be resized, right? And then there is attribute called scrolling. Scrolling actually, if you want to stop the scrolling, right? So we can say scrolling is no, right? Or if you want to scroll, you can say scrolling is yes. And then we can set the frame border, right? So which specify whether or not the display border around the frame, right? So these attributes can be used for frames as well, right? So let's see. Okay, I'll take frame2.html web page, right? So this one. So in here, this row can be resized, right? So I open the say source code. I'm going to open the source code of frame2, right? Frame2.html. Open it. Notepad. So this is frame2.html web page. So in here, there's an attribute called no resize. No resize. Then I save this, and then still that is not applicable, right? And now you can resize this. Then I refresh this so that modification is applied. So here now you can resize, right? See it, right? Now you can resize, right? Likewise, you can use those attributes in frame sets and frame tag, right? Okay. Then next one is that is special. So there is actually now even frames are not used. This iframe tag is used in many places, right? Iframe, right? So actually iframe is used to display web page within a web page, right? So usually frames are used to divide our web page in rows or into columns, and then we can insert different web pages. But in iframes, actually iframe is used to display a web page within a web page, right? Not for the dividing our web page into different frames. So here by using iframe we can display one particular web page within another web page. All right. So this is the syntax for adding iframes. So there's a syntax called iframe. There's a tag called iframe, and then here we can set the source, and then we have to close the iframe. Okay, so for example, in web page, if you want to use iframe, right? Actually, we can define a particular area, iframe, and then we can set a source. At the same time, we can set a name for that particular frame, right? So I told you that there's an attribute called name in frames, right? So if you want, you can say insert the say is in a paragraph tag, we can set a link, and then when you click on that link, we can load particular web page into iframe. Okay, I'll explain it through the example, right? So that's better. Okay, so in earlier or in the last lecture, actually at the last lecture, I create this web page. All right. So actually, I modified it, right? So I explain it. I'll explain that. I think you have already created this, right? So in here, actually, this is a page for arts faculty, right? So in here, I have used tables. I have used tables for aligning these elements of the content, all right? Okay, so this is the source code. So this is the source code that I have used, right? So now you know the source code, and in header section I have inserted the title, right? So Faculty of Arts is the title, and then I use the table with the 2 rows and 2 columns, all right? 2 rows and 2 columns, something like this, and then I use the percentage for column size and row size, right? And then first row I have 2 columns, and then first cell contains the logo of the university, right? And then in second column of the first row, that is second cell, contains this text, right? So those are text actually use this font tag, right? And then align center, and then actually use the level 1 heading, Faculty of Arts, and then level 2 heading, University of Peradeniya, and then I use the align and font color attributes for formatting it, and then that is the second cell or the second column of the first row, right? Okay, this one, right? And then this is the third cell or the first column of the second row, each having uh, list. Particularly, actually, that is not list a set of number of departments. Actually, here four departments, right? And then the fourth cell contain images, right? Now, what I'm going to do for the fourth cell, so the second column of the second row in here, right within this web page, I'm going to set a iframe or the internal frame for this particular cell. I'm going to insert internal frame for this fourth cell. So this is the fourth cell, this one. Now I am going to insert internal frame or iframe for this particular cell, fourth cell. Right, then I remove this image. Right, I remove this image. Okay, let's see. I remove this image, and then I am going to insert iframe. Then what is the tag iframe? Then we can use name for that, right? Name for that. So I use say departments name. Okay, then I save this. I save this and then refresh. Now you can see this frame is there. But this is the default size. This is the default size. If you want, I can resize this. I can resize, right? How can we resize? We can set the uh, width and height. See, width is I set width as a percentage of this cell. I say from the cell say 80% from the cell. Then say height. Say height. Height is also say 90% from the cell. Right? Then I save this and then I refresh this. Right? Now you can see this size of the frame is say 80% from the width and 90% from the height. Right? Likewise, we can set the frame size using percentages. Right? Percentages. Okay. Likewise, we can set the size of the iframe. Right? So if you want, you can set 100% in height, 100% in width. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set a hyperlink for these labels, right? So that when I click on this link, the relevant web page should be open within this particular frame, this particular iframe. Okay, let's see how can you do this, right? Okay, and then in here, yeah, in here I have those web pages: economics.html, education, fine art, and geography. All right, so this is my actually the index page or the home page, artsfaculty.html web page. So okay, keep it right. And then now what I am going to do, I am going to set a hyperlink for these labels, right? So how can we set a hyperlink? We can use the anchor tag href, and then when you click on this label, it will be open in a iframe, right? So the here page is education education.html, right? And then we can close the anchor tag, right? Anchor tag. So in the next case, uh, here I mean I resize this, right? Okay. So in here the link is a href, and then here geography dot html, right? And then close the anchor tag, and then next one is a href, and then here economics.html, and then close the anchor tag. Next one is fine arts, a href fine arts.html, right? And then close the anchor tag. Save this. Okay, then I open this artsfaculty.html web page. So I open this. Okay, Then when I click on here, it will be open in same web page, not in this iframe. When I click on this link, the relevant web page, that is the destination web page, is education.html. That web page is open in same tab or the same within the same web page, not in this iframe. Right, so let's see how can we set that. Right, actually in for the iframe I set a name. Here I set a name, right, called departments. Right, so in syntax I told you that here, so we can set a name for iframe, right, name for iframe. Right, then when you click on this link, all right, we can set a target. Right, so you may remember this attribute target. Then, so usually we set target on the same page or in a new tab. Right, for example, if you say blank and refresh this, so then it will be open in a blank tag. Right, that means a different tag. In here I'm not going to set the blank, I'm going to say this one should be open within this departments iframe. I copy this and set the target as departments. Right, so because here I set department as a iframe name, and here also I set target, and then target should be departments. Right, here the next one is also target, then target is departments. Right, here target is department. Save this. Okay, then I go to the web page and refresh by using F5. Now when I click on this particular link, the relevant page will be open in a iframe. Actually here I can increase the size of the iframe. Here I set the width is 100% and the height is also 100%. Then I save this. Here I refresh. Now when I click on here, now you can see the size of the page is 100% of the space, 100% space occupied from the cell. Right, okay. So when I refresh this here, now at the beginning or when you refresh this, so this is the home page of the iframe, home frame, right? Home page, right? Here home page is null. So if you want, you can create a home page for Faculty of Arts and then set that home page as a source of the iframe, right? So just I create the home page, say okay, then I'll create a home page quickly, right? HTML and then close the HTML, right? All right, here say head, and then here within head I have title, right? So say Faculty of Arts. So close the title and then close the head section. So head section and then open the body section and then close the body section, and then here say use the H2. So say welcome to the Faculty of Arts, right? Likewise I create a home page for the Faculty of Arts. Then I save this one as home.html within the frame uh, folder, right? Home.html, and say welcome to the Faculty of Arts, right? And say I close the H2 and then save this home. Here this is my web page. Welcome to Faculty of Arts, right? Then I set that web page as a, so in here, so in here I set that home page in here, right? Let's see how can I set that. I open source code of artsfaculty.html web page, and then here source of the iframe, I set home.html. Then when you open this, so here, welcome to faculty of so you can create nice web page and then save as home.html and then set as a home, this set as a source of the iframe, something like this, right? Okay, so this is how we use iframes. So when you click on the link, the relevant web page will be open, right? So actually you can set the same background for the home page, and then here we can use the font colors, right? So for example in here, right, so in here I use the background color as a, so this is background color of the other web pages, so I can use the same background color for the home page, right? And then here I use the font formatting, the font color. So this is the font color I used in there, so I can use that font color. So you can do this text formatting and then create uh, nice web page. So we can align this on a center, something like that, right? Likewise, you can create a nice web page and set that one as a home page, right? So this is the home page, right? So I set that home page as a source of the iframe, right? So I'll explain again. So here in fourth cell I insert a iframe, then I set a name, and then I set the width and height 100%, that is the full space occupied from that cell, and then the source of the iframe. And then here in links, in hyperlinks, right, I set target of the hyperlink as a iframe, right, by using name of the iframe, right? Okay, so this is how we use the iframe in our web page, right? So it's nice for the web pages, right? Okay, now you can create the web pages, websites for the any institute, right, by using this particular design. Okay, then I'll stop in here. Then if you have any problem regarding this, you can ask for me via messages. Okay, thank you very much.